Our presentation was done on food safety, and we asked, how well does FPU address allergies and intolerances? The goal was to ensure access to safe, nutritious, sufficient, and sustainably sourced food for students on and off campus during the academic year via contracted services and external partners. We did a Sodexo audit where we asked, what is the protocol for identifying and working with students with allergies, intolerances, and food preferences, and deciding what foods to provide to accommodate each group, type of food allergy, intolerance, and food preference? What we've learned was that basically students are responsible for making allergies, intolerances, and needs known to Sodexo staff. Sometimes parents will make these needs known for newer students, but students are expected to be responsible for themselves. And then there's a link to encourage students to make their needs known. There are some students who are connected through the Student Accessibility Office to a registered dietitian, and they basically help them with their meal plan accommodation requests. Dietary needs are generally met by making changes to existing meals. They generally don't make entirely new menus for people if they have allergies or intolerances. This goes for the dining hall and the Raven's Nest and Library Cafe. The dining hall has something called a My Zone station, which serves to give food options for students who can't eat tree nuts, peanuts, wheat, and gluten. These choices are only supposed to be backups in case there isn't enough options for them that day. And then for students with really complex dietary needs, they might need more specific menu items and might even have an entirely new meal made for them. So these are the survey results that were done from a survey that was distributed from Health Science Club. There were 16 responses. 62.5% of the people in the club had a food allergy, sensitivity, intolerance, or autoimmune disease. 6.3% had a religious or cultural food preference. 68.8% said dinner is the hardest meal for them to meet their needs. 18.8% said breakfast, and 12.5% said lunch. 56.3% said that it was difficult for them to meet their needs in the dining hall. 37.6% said it was difficult for them to meet their needs at the library cafe, and 33.8% said it was hard for them to meet their needs at the Raven's Nest. 12.5% said they have talked to Sodexo about their dietary needs. And then we have a statistical result of allergies and food preferences that were represented. Apples were 20%, celiac disease 10%, IBS 10%, lactose intolerance 40%, stomach sensitivity 10%, and then MIT 10%. From our discussion results, we deduced that in the dining hall they put cheese on many meals, making it so people with lactose intolerance have to request a dairy-free meal when they get there. There's a lot of cross-contamination at the dining hall, especially at the deli bar. In the library cafe, the gluten-free muffins are frozen when they ask for them, and no gluten-free sandwiches are offered. The Raven's Nest does their best at separating meats on the grill and breads with gluten from the gluten-free breads. Some days people with severe peanut and tree nut allergies are not able to even enter the dining hall due to the amount of peanuts and tree nuts that are being used. People with religious beliefs find it hard to eat in the dining hall at times. And the person who brought this up was a Roman Catholic, and they can't consume meat on Friday during Lent. People with food allergies often take from My Zone area because it was quicker for them. No one knows who Rebecca is, who is the dietitian, or knows how to contact Sodexo about dietary needs. Not much variation in the meals provided for those with dietary needs. In conclusion, Sodexo and the Student Accessibility Office want to help the students with their dietary needs, but need to be told about them in order to do so. Students do not know how to contact Sodexo to get their dietary needs shared. Many students have a dietary need, both allergies, intolerances, and religious preferences. Students perceive a high amount of cross-contamination in the dining areas on campus. Students with dietary needs would like a larger variety of meals. The hardest place on campus to meet dietary needs is the dining hall, and the hardest meal of the day to meet dietary needs is dinner. Some suggestions. Sodexo should increase their communication with the student body so that the students know how to go about getting meals for their dietary needs. Tongs, spatulas, serving spoons should be used more often to decrease the amount of cross-contamination in the dining areas. Sodexo should make identical meals with and without cheese, In order to help those with lactose intolerance, Sodexo could make all food stations buffet style in order to make meeting individuals' preferences easier overall.